You guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, today we're doing some BRZ stuff. We are swapping, we're putting in some of those white line rear differential bushing inserts into the BRZ to make the rear end a little more stiff. And then I had a really brilliant idea. Since the BRZ and the STI pretty much share the same suspension components, we're gonna try to put the STI's sway bar in on the BRZ. So I ran through, I did some quick measurements, and the BRZ sway bar is 14 millimeters in the rear, and the OEM STI sway bar is 20 millimeters. So that'll give us a pretty decent bump just in rear sway bar size for free. So I mean, since we're gonna be down there anyways, why not try to fit it in there? So that'll be a solid plan. I need to get some of these BRZ installs done because the BRZ is going away for a week. So the BRZ is going to Subaru. It's going to the local Subaru dealership near me because they're the only ones I trust to work on any of my cars when I'm not working on them. If, you know, they're gonna do the thing. So essentially the early model 13 and 14 BRZs had an issue with the valve springs where apparently the valve springs like to disappear sometimes. And we don't want the BRZ's valve springs to disappear on us because we like this car. We're doing the things. We're doing the things to the BRZ to make it an even more fun car. So like I said, I always do bushings, that kind of stuff first. So we're gonna be doing these bushing inserts and whatnot. That sway bar will be good stuff. Good stuff. But since the BRZ is going away for a little bit, so because the BRZ is going away for a little while, we are gonna be daily driving the STI again, which I'm stoked for. I've missed driving this car to work and whatnot, so it'll definitely be fun to start driving it again every day. Good updates on the STI though is I have figured out what turbo I'm gonna run, what exhaust setup we're gonna be running for the headers, the up pipe, and everything like that. So I'm gonna be doing a separate video of just going over everything we're gonna be doing to the STI for power. But like I've always said, keep in mind we are gonna be running the stock block on this thing and seeing how far we can push it. I'm gonna try to push for about 430, 450 on the stock block on ethanol. I think is fairly feasible with the amount of reliability mods that we've done to the car. So super stoked to be driving this again. We should be getting all of the parts needed for the turbo stuff, the ethanol stuff in the next month or so. I calculated it all out and I still need to spend another like $4,500, $5,000 on parts to be able to get everything to do the turbo, the rest of the ethanol, the rest of the fueling, the exhaust manifold stuff. So we're gonna be jumping on that stuff here soon and hopefully getting the rest of those parts ordered. All right, so with that, let's just start working on the BRZ. It's just gonna be a leisurely install day, so I'm not gonna go, this is not gonna be a walkthrough of how to install all these parts. I've already done installs on all these parts on the STI for you guys. So if you do want those videos, just go back into the history. So this is just gonna be more of a casual hanging out. I don't even know if that sway bar is gonna fit, so we're gonna find out. And then these rear differential bushing inserts, we did these on the STI also. So we're just gonna be hanging out in the garage, you guys, talking about some stuff. Frustrating, you know, all the good stuff. I am gonna be using this new camera that I got for under the car. This is a Canon G7X. So if you guys like the quality of this thing while we're under the car, let me know in the comment section because I got that thing so that way we could do a little more crisp, better quality installs underneath the car as well as when I go out in public. I'll show you guys the size of this DSLR that I shoot on and you'll understand why I snagged a smaller camera for that. So with that, I already got the car jacked up. I'm gonna go down there, start breaking all the bolts loose and the nuts loose to get these rear differential bushing inserts in. And then we're gonna pull the sway bar off before actually installing that. So let's just start pulling stuff off and, you know, hanging out, doing the stuff. Yo, so this is the DSLR that I was talking about, you guys. So I'm on the smaller camera right now, but this is my DSLR that I shoot on. Like, this thing is pretty big. It's not a small camera. So that's why we got the smaller one that we're shooting on now. So I'm gonna get this thing set up underneath the car and we're just gonna start pulling off the sway bar and getting out all this good suspension stuff. You guys, so as you just saw, we just pulled out the sway bar from down there. Now, here is the interesting thing. So they're the exact same length and the exact same shape. So for the BRZ rear sway bar, where are we at? 14.2-ish millimeters. And on the STI, we're at 20.18. So this is a good bump in just rear handling of the car for free. For free. So I'm kind of glad I kept these factory parts. I know the front sway bar is not going to fit in the BRZ because I know it's different up there. But for the rear, why not throw yourself a free sway bar if you can snag an STI one? I'm pretty sure people just kind of throw these away when they're done with them, or they just hold on to them if they ever part out the cars. But aside from that, the end links are the exact same. I am going to be using the ones out of the STI because they are newer in comparison to the BRZ ones that are just, they're filthy. Like, those things are gross. overall pretty gross. So we're gonna start throwing in this stuff. I'm gonna hop down there. We're gonna go ahead and do these guys first, and those are going to be the ones that actually go into the diff. So you just pull the bolts out, they slide right in, you just grease them up. And then these ones are gonna go into the ears of the diff that actually go up to the subframe. So those ones will also slide right in. But I did wanna show you guys the differences here because it's a free upgrade if you can find someone who's just throwing away an OEM STI rear sway bar. You can get a free bump in performance out of your BRZ if you can snag one. So let's go ahead and get these bushings thrown back in, and then we'll verify to make sure that that thing fits, but I'm like 99.999999% that it will. Those two are easy, they look a lot better. I think before I do the ear collars up there, I am gonna throw the sway bar back on real quick just to make sure that everything fits. And if I do need to throw the OEM one back on, we can. So let's get that guy thrown on real quick and see if it actually fits. So I have got the STI sway bar right here. Now, if this thing fits, I'm gonna be so stoked. Oh my god, you guys, I'm so stoked it fit. So, sorry, the G7X died at some point when I was down there. So like I said, it's my first time using that camera, so I do apologize. I will get more batteries ordered, but I had to order some more parts. Like for the BRZ, I needed to replace this weather stripping because like all of the shmoo peeled off over here, so it's like a different color. So that was like 70 bucks to get that one. But I want to show you guys the sway bar because it fits so well. It fit literally right in. So the STI and the BRZ both use the exact same rear sway bar, rear end links, and I'm pretty sure you could take the STI's rear struts and springs and fit those back here also. So super stoked about that. That's a free upgrade. So that's 6 millimeters thicker than the BRZ sway bars you guys saw, because that thing was tiny. That thing was super tiny. So the only thing I have left to do down here right now is swap out the bushings in the diff right up on the ears up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this camera somewhere set up so I can hit those bushings right there in the middle of the screen, and so that way so you guys can at least see what I'm doing down here. But I need to get a jack down here also, so it's gonna be a little cramped on space, but you know, we'll figure it out as we always do. All right, you guys. So we are going to support the rear diff here, if I can. All right, so that's on there. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull this guy out, and we're gonna have to shove a washer up on the top side of the ear up here. I know it's a little difficult to see, but working with what I got right now. And tight, yes! That was smooth, no issues at all. Where's my hat? I feel naked. Pretty happy with it. Let me swap gloves real quick. We'll come back and then I'm gonna grab the camera and show you guys everything that we just did down here. Because all of this is just gonna make such a big difference in the way the rear end of the car, actually the whole car. This is gonna change how the whole car drives right now. So I'm super stoked for this. So give me like 2 minutes. It's gonna be 2 minutes for me, like a second for you, so 1 sec. Super pumped about this rear sway bar fit in here. That's a big bump for a sway bar for being free. We also used the OEM STI rear end links back here too, just to make sure that they would hold the sway bar plus the turning, because I don't think there's a difference in the, I think there's maybe a 1 or 2 millimeter difference in the end links between the BRZ and the STI. And then those white line rear diff bushing inserts, really simple to do, will really help tighten up that rear diff. Plus the orange actually looks pretty good back here, so not gonna lie, I like it. I really like it. It was a well worth install. Well worth it. I'm gonna tell you now, those ear collars that we just did up there, those can be a little bit of a pain if the diff shifts left or right a little bit when you're installing, because then the threads aren't gonna line up, then you run into issues, and it's a pain. It's such a pain to deal with. So I just got the BRZ put back on the ground, and the throttle response feels much better in that car now. I did notice a couple things when I was... What is on my wing? So I did notice a couple things when I was playing with it a little bit. So I turned it on, I revved it up a little bit, and it's about time to change out the pulleys on that car too. So when we get it back from Subaru, I think is when we're gonna swap out the pulleys on it. If you guys want to see how to swap out pulleys, drive belts, that kind of stuff, I'll show you guys how to do that also. But they're squeaky, they're rattly. I'm guessing they're OEM still at about 50,000 miles, and it's probably about time they get swapped out anyway. So super stoked on that. Really glad that sway bar fit. Like, you guys have no idea, like a sway bar is like $400, and I was planning on doing one anyways to the BRZ. So now I don't need to. I probably will swap out the end links at some point though, just to reassure that they won't break or anything like that. Hey, we're in my backyard right now. We're not even in the garage. We'll end up swapping those out at some point also. Super stoked to be getting the car over to Subaru, so that way they can get the valve springs taken care of, because that has been like a concern in the back of my mind. Don't want to destroy the engine on the car quite yet. I would like to keep that engine around. Since we're doing all the stuff to the STI, right now that thing is the money pit, the good old money pit. So if you guys see me driving around in the next couple days in the STI, feel free to wave. I'll wave back. I try to wave at everyone that I see. Sometimes I'm oblivious when I'm driving home from work because I just really don't realize it. But anyways, so I mean, that's really gonna wrap the video up for you guys. You know what to do. If you like the video, go ahead, hit that like button and turn that thumbs up blue. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do it in one of these corners. Don't know which one I'm gonna put it in quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.